Whew. Man, oh shucks, it's cold out there. That right there. What does that even mean? Man, oh shevets. My grandparents used to say that. My mom used to say that. What is a shevet? Man, oh shevets. Interesting. All right, guys. Thank you for clicking on this video. Coming to you live from the Lance Squire 4000 again. So, is it safe or wise to haul a truck camper in the bed of a truck? I don't know. I'm Paul with Dreaming Out Loud RVing. My better half, Megan, she's working, so I don't have to. No, she's working, so she's not here. But thank you guys for clicking on this video. Phew, had to give me some coffee. It's not bourbon today. Too early. It's never too early for bourbon, but today's cold, snow's flying, coffee. One more day of work, I'm off for the season. Love my coffee. Yeah, our, what's it called? K-cup thing. It's finally dying on us, I think. It acts like it has a swollen prostate because a little bit of water dribbles out, right? I think I got to go in there and roto-rooter it and clean out its prostate. Thank you guys for coming along. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate that. You guys, I don't know what I'm looking at. You guys are awesome. Yeah, it's great. We have this 1994 Lance Squire 4000 truck camper. I wouldn't want to say it's a complete renovation. It's more of a freshen up because all the systems seem to be working pretty good. Got a few little issues I'm working on, but we're making a playlist of everything we're doing to this camper. We still got a lot we got to do, so maybe you want to check that out. But that's what we're doing right now. We're into the truck camper thing, and this is our little adventure vehicle to get us out so we can maintain our sanity. My last video or two ago, might have been two ago, with the truck camper, truck not being recommended for a truck camper. All right, man, you guys really helped me out in the comments. I appreciate all of them. It's fantastic. Thank you guys for watching that video. I got to clear something up from a video before that though. When my jack on the truck camper got into the truck and scrubbed all the paint off, and I said I was worried about it rusting. Well, thanks to you guys and all your comments, I'm going to share. But Regals Racing 44, thank you. He said, word of advice, so Super Duties are aluminum, they won't rust. But he goes on to talk about how weak the aluminum is. I knew that at one point, totally forgot. You know, that happens. But thank you. That was reassuring to know that I don't have to worry about the rust anyway. And that person has commented on other videos. I appreciate your comments, all you guys' comments. But is it safe to even carry a truck camper in a truck? That's what I want to know. Because I started looking into all this stuff since I found that paper in our truck. So anyway, I got into it, got into the rabbit hole. I know truck campers have been around for a long time. But I see all this stuff on there, and some of it makes sense to me, the way they're connected to the frame and the rocking and the twisting the frame. You know what I like to do? I used to do body and paint years ago, a whole other lifetime ago, before my medical career. I would like to put the truck on a frame machine, take all the measurements of what the frame should be, and then run a truck camper on it, say a year. Give it 1 year of moderate use, regular use, and then put that same truck on a frame machine and take the measurements. Has anybody done that? It's not like you have a frame machine sitting in your backyard. I don't know, maybe some of you do. And then measure it and see if it come out of spec at all. That would be very interesting to know. You know, I know some people in body shops. So I'm going to start looking around and see if I can get someone to take the measurements on our 350. Now, our truck camper, according to the paper, the website, not the paper, according to the Lance website, is 2,282 pounds. Now, I know all campers are different, specifically the way they're built out. So I would say 2,300 pounds to be safe. But then I'll round up to 3,000 pounds because, there's going to be some cargo in there or whatever. So I'm just gonna call it 3,000 pounds, which is a heavy, on the heavier side, but I'm okay with that. I think our truck will handle it just fine. But what I've come to realize is when the truck camper goes in the truck, you've got to have the center of gravity in a certain spot. It's just above the front, just above the rear axle, in front of the rear axle, not above. The whole thing's above it. So just in front of the rear axle is where that center of gravity should be. So how do you find the center of gravity? Well, I went searching for that. Some of them say, I think it's 47 inches from the front of the truck camper box back is where that center of gravity should be. So I need to find that because, again, all the things I'm reading online, which you know how that goes, they're saying if it's sitting too far back, that's damaging to your truck because it's back on the axle. It's just not where it should be carrying the load. Now, in that video I mentioned how our truck handled our 42-foot fifth wheel fine. It had a 2,800, 3,000 pound pin weight. That's because where the fifth wheel is mounted in the bed of the truck, it puts it right there over the axle where it should be. So all that weight is in the proper location. Truck campers, who knows what you're doing there. So I got checking because I have, I can't believe I didn't get that Ford hater. You always get the one, oh, it's only because it's a Ford. Listen, I'm not a brand guy. I'm the best deal guy. I had two Super Duties. This is my second one. First one was a fleet side. This one's a dually. First one I had was outfitted much nicer than this truck, but I just wanted the dually. I needed the payload for the fifth wheel and future stuff. I need that payload, so I went with the dually. But anyway, I bought both of these trucks at the end of the year, and each time they were the last one on the lot. They were trying to blow them out. So I got great deals on them. I traded my 19 for this 22, almost even trade because the truck's values were so high and that 19 was paid for. So all that cash went right into this truck. So the best deal is what I'm looking for. And I'll be honest with you, when you put the three big hitters, the three heavyweights side by side, the Chevy GMC, Ram, Dodge, and Ford, you put them side by side. Visually, I prefer the way the Dodge looks, the Ram trucks. I like those trucks. I don't hate any of them because a lot of them have the parts come from the same warehouse, believe it or not, but they're all made in America, right? So I like the looks of the Dodge. I'm not a big fan of how they did the dually bed on those, but it's grown on me some. I'm just not a fan of the cockpit in the Dodge. The Chevrolet GMC, they're tough trucks. They look great. I like everything about them. I just can't afford one. You never find them left over. They mark them down some, but I've never seen one down where I could afford it. But I like those. Now the Ford, I will say the Super Duty is my least favorite cosmetically. From the outside, if I put all those three trucks together, the Ford I don't think looks as good as those. But that's what I own because that's what I got the best deal on, and it's a good diesel. It's a good truck. But I like the cockpit in a Ford. I like when I'm sitting in it, I'm comfortable. I like my view. I like the way the hood looks. And that means a lot to me, just the way the hood looks. I don't want to look out there and see some wonky looking hood. A friend of mine told me one time that his dad always told him, the vehicle you drive, make sure the hood is shiny and clean because that's what you're looking at. Kind of makes sense. Anyway, I like them all. But I did have one person said that, that's why I should get a Ram because if it fits, it'll haul it or carry it. What did he say? Let me look at what that comment. I'm not going to call him out because it wasn't a hateful comment. It just, it was. There's one person said, I guess it's not Ford tough. I guess not. That's okay. Let's see. I do like the comments in here where people have old vehicles, which they're right, man. Those things, you can't beat an old truck, 70s, 80s. I mean, they're like tanks. Ooh, here's one. What's this guy say? A truck camper is a worse investment than a blonde lady that can cook, but her brother is a divorce lawyer. All right, again, you guys, man, comments have been fantastic. I mean, really, there's been some good comments and there's some comical ones. It's all good. It's all good. This fella here, this is why you buy a Ram. If it will fit, you can haul it. Real truck, real frame, real suspension. Hey, man, he loves his Ram. I'm assuming he owns one, or maybe that's someone that just wants one and that's what they're going to get. Real frame. That's really interesting. Frames. And just because of that Ram comment, I looked at the comparison. It says when comparing the 22 Ford Super Duty, which is what I have, to a Dodge Ram, the Super Duty generally has a reputation for being slightly more robust and designed to handle heavier loads. Allowing for greater towing and payload capabilities. Interesting. Not knocking the Ram. It's just, it made me think. Because, I like the way the Rams look. And I thought, well, if the Ram is that much bigger and stronger, maybe I should trade. But this doesn't tell me that. But again, they've all got their pros and cons. I got to find out more about the pros and cons of my truck and how I'm using it. I want the truck for a long, long haul. I'm hoping it's going to be with me. It's going to be a part of our family until I'm pushing up daisies. I want it to last that long. So I like to take care of it, Anyway, I'm sure that with I'm going to say 3,000 pounds because I'm going heavier than lighter with cargo, whatever, probably more than that, but 3,000 pounds on a 22 Ford 350 dually. I'm confident that our truck can handle this camper no problem. And seriously, when it's in the truck, when this camper is loaded on the truck and you're driving, you don't feel it. Now, sometimes if I go onto a big dip or something, yeah, I can feel it kind of do that a little bit, but there's no feeling of the camper being back there otherwise because it's not that heavy. Now, we had our fifth wheel. Yeah, I noticed the fifth wheel was back there. We had a little 30-foot travel trailer, 6,000 pounds. Yeah, I knew it was back there. You got these people that say, oh, I work with a guy. He's got a Ford 250 diesel, beautiful truck. He's got a Montana fifth wheel. I don't know how much it weighs. It's probably, I'm going to say 12,000 pounds. He says, oh, I cruise down the road. You don't even know what's back there. First thing I said to him, I said, you're an idiot. You know it's back there. Oh, no, I don't. I run 70 miles an hour. Those are the people you don't want on the road. You don't want to be, well, you don't want to be anywhere near them on the road because if you don't think you can fill your camper back there and you're just going to drive like a maniac, you're just going to drive like you're going to the grocery store or to work or whatever, flying down the road, that's Cocoa Puffs right there. That's Cocoa Puffs. Yeah. Anyhow, it just blows me away that people say that. I don't know what they got to prove. Every camper I've towed with whatever truck I've had, I know it's back there. When you're braking, when you're accelerating, just wind, whatever reason, it's back there. It lets you know, hey, you're pulling some weight. These are just pickup trucks. They're not HDs, they're not semis, they're just pickup trucks. I have a lot of people have said, hey, my truck will pull that. Yeah, your truck will get the wheels rolling on just about anything, but that doesn't mean it can stop it. Doesn't mean it can handle it. Doesn't mean it's smart to do that. You could cause damage to yourself, let alone kill someone else. That's not good. Got to know your numbers. So people that think like that, I don't want to be anywhere near them when they're hauling anything or towing something because they don't really have the numbers. I have Timbrens on my truck. I love the Timbrens because they're inexpensive, and I've got a couple videos on the Timbren suspension. They're inexpensive and very easy to install. You just replace your bump stops with bigger bump stops basically, and that does help. That's a help. It's not a fix for everything, but it's a help. I thought about going with airbags, but they are pricey, and then installing them. I could put them on. I did them on an old F-150 I had with the air compressor and everything, but I don't know. It's a lot of money, and I wouldn't go with the airbags for a better payload or more payload. I would go with that because if you're on uneven ground, you can air one side down or up to level out your truck. You don't got to rely on blocks, leveling blocks. So that's a plus with the airbags. I am going to look into going to a friend of mine's shop and getting my frame measured, and then this will be a long time to make this video because it'll take a while to see if there's any change in the frame, and then run the truck camper next year up and down the road. I might even go do some off-roading camping, not four-wheeling, mud bogging, but just off-road service roads to get to camping. Might do something like that. See, and then maybe this time next year I'll remeasure it. See, I'll be in town where my friend has a shop in a couple weeks. Measure my truck. Next year I'll use it. Next fall when I go back in the off season, measure it again. Sounds like a plan. You guys have to stick around for a whole year or come back. It's all good. I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you guys for all the likes. Even I get negative comments too. But that's all good. It's all interaction on the video. It helps either way. Some people just can't be nice, and that's okay. You don't have to always be nice if you don't want to. You can give it to me. Save someone else. You can give it to me. Thank you guys for being here, but thank you guys so much for being here. Till next video, peace out.